MoistCr1TiKaL, aka Charlie, the man of many names, says he might be sued. 3.4 million views in one day.
Title's not clickbait. For the first time ever, I have been served some hefty legal paperwork. And it's not, there wasn't anything ceremonious about it. It's not like any of the, crazy stories you might have heard about people being served where like someone will go incognito like a secret agent, like with the disguise where they have some kind of silicone mask of your mother's face on it, so you open the door and then bang, you get the paperwork served to you or anything. It was nothing like that.
Yeah, why do they do that? Is it because they have to confirm that it's them, and if they don't confirm it's them, they can't submit the paperwork, so they have to like trick the person into saying it's their name, right? Am I getting this right?
Just a normal, unassuming, albeit very large envelope in the mail. Now, it's not a full-blown lawsuit or anything at the moment.
Wait, is this because he sang the Taylor Swift song or something?
It is some demands because there are two YouTubers that believe I have stepped on their tootsies and infringed on their copyright. They are Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold. Now, I initially reached out to both of them because the language in this paperwork is very fishy. I'll get into that more in a moment, but I wanted to talk directly with them to see if this is like a scam or something. Like, I wanted to make sure this was like a legitimate thing before I got my lawyers on this.
What's with YouTubers suing other YouTubers all the time? If I had $1 every time I've heard about this.
They haven't responded, so I'm guessing this is probably legitimate. Like, this is probably something they are actually trying to go through with. Though, I do know that there are a lot of law firms now that are trying to encroach in the space to convince YouTubers to go through copyright law to try and make money. That is something that a bunch of firms have reached out to Matt about to do on my behalf, which is unhinged why any firm would think I would ever do something like that, but it is somewhat normal in the space right now. So I think there's a chance that maybe that's what's happening here and they don't know that, but since they didn't respond, I can't say for sure. So as of now, it feels legitimate, so I will be getting my lawyers on this, obviously, to be going through the next steps of this now, most likely very long procedure. But let's go ahead and talk about what the claim is. So last year, during Hurricane Milton, I did a stream in the middle of Hurricane Milton. I'm in Tampa, and Hurricane Milton came through to spread our cheeks. I was streaming during it. While streaming, I would check like weather updates or like some streams to see the progress of Milton and what's going on in the area. Now, I think all of you know this, I don't do React content anymore, so if there's ever any like content or footage on my stream, it's very brief, and the only things I usually watch are game trailers, movie trailers, or news footage, like news broadcast, publicly available news. So for the hurricane, I thought it would be a-okay to show very brief clips of what was happening with Milton so I could stay up to date, as well as, I guess, share with the audience who was asking, like, what's going on, are you safe?
Wait, so he got sued for pulling up somebody's live stream and like looking at the people that were reporting the news? Am I getting this right here?
What's happening? And one of the streams I pulled up was a Ryan Hall Y'all stream where he was showing a bunch of footage of Hurricane Milton, and one of the footage snippets, like one of the contributors, was Brad Arnold. You can see his footage there as one of the, on the scene, boots on the ground, reporters there. Okay. And I had that section there, that footage that included Brad Arnold's work there on my stream for less than 30 seconds. Unless I missed another instance of it somewhere, it was present for less than 30 seconds. Though I did pause at one point, so if you count the pausing with the image of the footage there, it's a little longer, but I can't imagine a still image counts. If it does, then no bussy is safe, because that would just be fully Pandora's box wide open here. Even this video would be
you would get lawsuited for having someone's thumbnail on your screen.
Jeopardy then, because I did just show you a screenshot of that stream that had a still image from Brad Arnold's on the scene work. But it's just a picture, it's not moving or anything, and it's like, I have it here for 5 seconds. I guess we'll see. I think that would be really scary if that is now completely prohibitive and a potential copyright infringement.
I'm surprised he's getting sued over this. I mean,
that would be very, very scary. Anyway, though, that's the extent of Brad Arnold's footage that entered into the Thunderdome of my hour-and-a-half long Hurricane Milton stream. So it was less than 30 seconds. I don't think that's an extensive period of time there, but
Well, even if it was like 30 seconds, is that not fair use? I mean, he's watching it, he's talking about it. It's not the only content. It's not direct repost. Isn't he fine? Like,
I'll go ahead and let bygones be bygones on that and move on to Reed Timmer. Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold are both being represented by this firm, so it's a tag team here, a dynamic duo looking to double fist my butthole. Reed Timmer was on my stream for, I wrote these down because it was a couple times. 28 seconds the first time, where I showed some of Reed Timmer's, once again, on the scene footage. It was 28 seconds to see what was going on. And then once I showed that, Reed Timmer's fans came in my chat telling me that I should really check out his tank. He built like this really cool tank, and they really wanted me to see Reed Timmer's tank. So I went to his video that showed his tank, and I had that on screen in total for 1 minute and 10 seconds. I then skipped towards like more of the middle of the video to see the rockets, because everyone wanted me to see like the rockets he has on the tank. So I went there, and that was on screen for 25 seconds total. And then I just paused it, and I just had it as a still image there, so it was there for a bit longer as a still image, not the video playing or anything like that. So in total, less than 2 minutes was Reed Timmer's footage across two pieces of his content, one being a live stream and then the other being the tank that his fans really came in and wanted me to see. Maybe that was an elaborate ruse, a big bait from the Reed Timmer community to get me in hot water with him. And if this was a galaxy brain chess maneuver...
I mean, I would understand like the guy reaching out, DMing him and being salty about it, or even the DMCA, but like straight to the lawsuit, doesn't that feel like a nuclear button? He didn't say anything at all.
Impressive work. I hadn't seen that line before. The Scotch Open got me good there. Like it worked. The bait was successful, because now Reed Timmer is here in the squared circle with a copyright notice. And now let's talk about the actual paperwork here. As I said, the language feels very fishy to me. And the lawyer that I had glance over it to take a peek also found it to be really, really weird. One of the first things that jumped out was...
I'm actually super... I'm curious about this because, like, I want to know, like, exactly what is he breaking? Like, what is he getting sued for? I really hope he goes into detail. I don't know if he can, because if it's an active lawsuit, but like, I really kind of hope he goes into like actual detail on it, because how is there actually a legal case for this event?
They claim that I've used it in multiple instances, in multiple locations. They say that I unlicensed distributed their work in the following locations, and then it gives 2 links to a YouTube video. I said a YouTube video because they only have one YouTube video there. They list it twice.
I wonder if they're counting the live stream and then the live stream being published as a VOD later as 2 separate instances.
The same link twice, but then imply that I'd done it multiple times in multiple locations. So that's already weird. It's the Hurricane Milton stream. I am not familiar with Brad Arnold's work, nor Reed Timmer's. That was the only time I'd ever even heard of their names, was during the Hurricane Milton stream I did from, well, Reed Timmer's community, and then also just from trying to stay knowledgeable on what the fuck is happening with the natural disaster that's hitting my home. Like, that's the only time I was ever even heard of their names before. And what I put on stream of theirs was there for such a small amount of time, I thought there'd be no issue there at all. The paperwork goes on to... I don't know if I'm allowed to say the exact amount, but it goes on to say that they are potentially entitled to many tens of thousands of dollars per infraction. It makes a mention of damages that could get up to 6 figures.
Dude, that's insane. For like in one live stream, he has the clip on for a minute. Are they insane?
About me potentially posting their content on all of my other socials and my other websites, which is obviously not anything that happened. It was only during that stream for like sub 2 minutes. At least from what I can tell on the stream. Maybe I missed a couple instances, but it's not a long period of time at all.
Are they just trying to get the bag? What is happening here? How the fuck are you mentioning 6 figures for a dude who posts up your video for like a minute?
But it's saying,
like, what are we
implying that I may have been blasting it all over the place, thus they would be entitled to more money. And then it says things like, In order to comply, I would need to explain where and how I obtained their client's work to copy it. As if I had some kind of Ocean's 11 style heist where I broke into Fort Knox to steal their copyrighted footage for myself, like I took a fucking Dragon Ball or something. Which is really weird because what do you mean, how did I find this? Those were two absolutely massive streams during Hurricane Milton that were there to try and keep people informed on what was happening with Hurricane Milton. They had like fucking 100,000 viewers, and like they were huge, huge streams. So I saw those streams and I tuned in to see what was happening with Hurricane Milton for my own safety and to stay up to date on the progress of the hurricane. And the second part of that is absolutely mind-boggling about like where and how I found it and copied it. I didn't fucking copy it. I looked at it. I had my peepers on it very briefly. I didn't.
These dudes treated like he's restreaming the fucking Super Bowl, dude, or a UFC fight or some shit. What?
Steal their work. I fucking download it to a floppy disk. Don't copy that floppy type shit. Like I didn't copy anything. I looked at their stream for a very, very, very brief period of time during a hurricane that was hitting my house just to see what was going on and stay knowledgeable. Also, to show stream what was going on in the area. I'm not exactly equipped to show it myself by just taking this camera and going outside during it. I'd get blown away. I'm fucking 5'6". That shit would ragdoll me. I don't have all the gadgetry and doodads to show it. So I looked for a very small handful of seconds at the on-the-scene storm chasers and reporters just to stay up to date. I didn't copy their work, and I wasn't trying to steal their work and pretend like it was mine or make money off of their work. It is an hour-and-a-half stream during Hurricane Milton, and their footage is present for less than 2 minutes at the end of the stream, by the way.
Nah, bro, these are just scumbag lawyers. Like, these are just people trying to get some fucking money. Like, okay, we gotta watch the follow-up after this, because I gotta know what the conclusion
Reed Timmer's section there is literally right before I went offline, before my power got knocked out briefly. Or I can't even remember if my power got knocked out in that stream. It happened a couple times. I'm pretty sure it got knocked out in that one. I don't even remember now. But, like, it's at the end of the stream. It's... I feel like it is very...
Wait, hold on. Okay, there's something...
odd.
I gotta show you. Wait, there's something else odd that's bothering me. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3. No, that's 4. It looks like 5, but I was like, how does this GameCube have 5 slots for controllers? But no, it's 4. It was bugging me. I thought they had 5. I was like, am I watching an AI video?
This is something Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold are legitimately pursuing. Or maybe this is all a huge misunderstanding, and they don't even know that I got served these papers. I'm hoping that's the case. I have no ill will towards Brad Arnold or Reed Timmer, one way or the other, I suppose. If they really feel like I have done something wrong with that, then they're fully within their right to serve me these precious little papers here that I'm patting real nicely. That it is what it is. I wanted to keep you all in the loop here because this, I'm not gonna lie, was extremely annoying. If you follow MoistCr1TiKaL Gaming, you probably will have seen the leak video I posted the other day where I was fuming. Well, it's because I got served those papers and I was talking to lawyers about it. So it was an extremely frustrating day. Anyway, wanted to just keep you all in the loop here on what's going on. That's really about it. So yeah.
Man getting actually caught, like, lawsuit troll. It's like Nintendo decided to sue him. Okay, I looked it up. He does have a follow-up video. It's literally just posted, so this is perfect. We're going to see the follow-up to it, because now it says, I'm not being sued anymore. So obviously the conclusion, something happened.
Good news. Phoenix Wright just lost a client, as I will no longer be requiring his services. The potential lawsuit that I was wrapped up in is no longer being pursued. It is amicably being banished to the Shadow Realm, so it's done and dusted. I even talked to Brad Arnold on the phone a couple of times, who is one of the people listed in the demands letter that was teetering on lawsuit. And he was very friendly and apologetic about the whole thing, and he was kind of filling me in on things with this system that he didn't even know was going on and he didn't agree with. And I think there's actually a lot to talk about in regards to how this even happened in the first place. But first, let me give you the lay of the land here in case you don't know the lore with what's going on. To bring you up to speed, the previously on Dragon Ball Z, if you have no clue what I'm talking about, yesterday I made a video going over how I might be sued, as I had been served some very hefty legal paperwork. It was spearheaded by an IP law firm believing that I was liable for potential copyright infringements and damages in the many tens of thousands of dollars, even into the six figures. In the papers, there was a sense of urgency to comply and respond, and failure to do so would enact even bigger penalties, and that would be when the full lawsuit would come through. What I received was the demands. And when I received this, I was, of course, pretty skeptical because there are a lot of, like, fraudulent bad actors out there that are fishing. Who knows? This could have been fucking pages from the Death Note for all I knew. It was representing two YouTubers, Brad Arnold and Reed Timmer. And I didn't immediately recognize who that was. And I don't do like React content or anything, so I was pretty confused. I thought this may have just been, potential phony baloney, suing local Florida man because he pooped when he meant to fart, I thought this could be made in error, especially because the language in the paperwork was very fishy, saying like I used it multiple times, but then it just listed the same YouTube video twice as if they were separate instances. It was a live stream I did during Hurricane Milton. I live in Tampa, so Hurricane Milton came through with the fucking meat. And I was streaming during it, and of course I was checking in on Milton to see what the fuck was going on out there with this hurricane that was in my own backyard here slapping us around. And some of the footage that I showed was from Ryan Hall, y'all, who had footage from Brad Arnold in it, and the other was a bit of Reed Timmer. They were both storm chasing Hurricane Milton at the time, and in total, the footage that was used across both of their work was less than 2 minutes, and it was very, very briefly shown just to stay knowledgeable on what was happening, both for my own safety and just, of course, to like show the audience.
There will be an expert in what happened by the end of this.
It was not copying it or stealing it or trying to like make money off it or anything like that. I reached out to both of them privately just to check, hey, are these real right here? Are we dealing with big naturals, or is this all, like fake? What's going on? I just wanted to verify the authenticity, but 2 days went by and I didn't hear back, and since the paperwork did express a very real sense of urgency, I made the assumption that, okay, this must have been something they signed off on, so I got my legal team on it, and then I made that video yesterday bringing everyone up to speed on what's happening. And I also do think it was just an important topic to talk about in general because...
How much you want to bet these dudes found out they're suing MoistCr1TiKaL by that video when 1 million people go into the chat? I'm like, why are you suing MoistCr1TiKaL? He's like, what are you talking about? Right? Is that where...
It is concerning that right? If you do show like less than like a handful of seconds worth of like a content during a natural disaster, you could somehow be liable for many thousands of dollars. Like, that is something that most people cannot afford to, like, take that kind of hit, especially when there was no wrongdoing, no malicious copying or stealing of someone else's work, just textbook fair use, staying knowledgeable on a natural disaster and using a couple of brief snippets of footage to stay up to date on what's going on. And getting served paperwork like that with like the very serious nature, the very serious amount of money on the line, I imagine is very scary to a lot of people that would receive it. I don't know how many people got this big blast here, that I don't know. It feels like it was a shotgun approach, and boy, how...
Oh shit, dude, I didn't even think about that. Are they sending out copyrights to like literally everybody, or not even copyrights, lawsuits to literally everyone that even looked at this shit?
Did they load that bird shot in? And both Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold were quick to respond and also quick to, like, retract this whole thing, both saying the same thing. They didn't even know this was happening. So,
fucking piece of shit lawyers. Just suing over shit they don't understand.
I'm just going to clue you in on everything here. The company, Viral DRM, is a company that has actually reached out to Matt before.
I'm sorry, but if you have Viral in your name as a company, like, how hard is it to take it seriously? Viral DRM, all right.
And from what I can tell, they are now getting into the space of trying to represent creators as a digital rights manager to enforce their copyright, to smack down, bad actors that might be using it for their own personal gains. So that way you can come in and take the pie back.
Yeah, they're a YouTuber copyright version of fucking Nintendo. They're trolls, basically.
And that's kind of the business model. The firm was not Viral DRM. I believe the firm was contracted by Viral DRM. They're an IP law firm. They're a very real firm that does IP law. And it's very clear that none of this was ever walked by Reed Timmer or Brad Arnold. They didn't know.
And that's why it's a troll, because like the irony is like they're trying to sue Charlie, or we're trying to sue Charlie over using his content without his permission. and then what do? They're lawsuing somebody without the owner's permission. Like, are they not kind of? Did they not see the irony here?
Both of them have said the same thing. They did not know I was named in this. And Brad Arnold went a step further, saying he doesn't know when they even send this out to others that are using it. That has now come to his attention now. That they are not even brought up to speed with who their digital rights manager is even going after and what for.
Dude, I'd be pretty pissed off if I found like my talent agency was suing people because of my content without even mentioning it to me, just like dishing out lawsuits. Like that'd piss me off pretty fast.
Now, based on the conversations I've had and from what I've gathered here, I believe the process is Viral DRM has this content that they have the rights to protect. They log it into their systems, and then their system will start to flag instances of that content appearing in other works that maybe didn't get a license deal or anything go through. So it will now see that that is flagged internally as a potential problem. Then it
seems to me like they just shotgun out lawsuits to anybody that gets flagged, hope somebody's chicken shit enough to like pay them, and then they just like I want to know how much of a percentage of a cut they get if they win the lawsuit. Okay, so if they win a lawsuit under all the people they represent, do they get like 50% of the lawsuit settlement? So they basically take the claim from somebody else, just shotgun out lawsuits, hope some people get scared and pay them off. It's basically a fucking ransom. It looks terrible.
Like they go full Yosemite Sam here, firing from the hip, shoot first, ask questions later, making the assumption that it must be a bad actor doing something, nefarious with this content to try and avoid paying for it, and thus action must be taken. And according to what Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold are saying, they don't even consult them first or anything. They just take matters into their own hands and do it without ever even bringing them up to speed on what's going on or why in regards to that content. Without ever even checking with their clients here, in this case Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold, do you want to pursue this? They're just doing it without even consulting them. And it's something that Brad Arnold mentioned is pretty disturbing to him that needs to change. So he's already trying to get a handle on that so this doesn't happen to other creators or other people going forward, because it is an issue. Yes, it sucks that I got served this paperwork, but imagine all the other people that might have this exact same stack of legal documents sitting on their desk right now panicking that it hasn't been retracted because Brad Arnold and Reed Timmer don't even know they got it, because Viral DRM has already just went through all of this without talking to them first. When it takes 2 seconds for Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold to see, in my case, how it was utilized and be like, oh, that's totally fine. What the fuck? What are we doing here in the first place? This is a huge mistake. This is a big misunderstanding. Why are we even this far down the road on it? The reason why they even have someone manage the rights of their content, as I understand it, keep in mind I'm a little new to the whole Storm Chaser ecosystem here and how their content gets exploited and all of that. But the reason why Storm Chasers sign with these agencies and these managers is because apparently there has been a history of organizations media outlets stealing the content for their broadcast without paying the licensing fee that
I can understand
they charge to license it out.
So are they're either lawsuit trolls shooting lawsuits at everybody and hopefully they get paid off and it's a for-profit lawsuit spammer, or it's boomers that do not understand that a YouTube live stream or a Twitch live stream or something is not the same as a cable channel utilizing their footage, basically. It's one or the other.
Or they'll do it uncredited and they'll just take it without ever even contacting the Storm Chaser. And Storm Chasers, as I understand it, they pay out of pocket for these missions, really. So they have these managers manage the rights of it, so that way that doesn't happen. So if a media outlet comes in, takes the content without paying them, well, it now gets flagged internally, so now they can reach out and try and get that money that they are owed for the work. But it is clearly, fucking digivolved into something far different, where now it's extending to the entire internet space, where anyone now that shows even a brief section of the work is on the hook. Yeah. Which is, I think, very different than how Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold intended for it to be utilized, especially with how Brad Arnold talked about it to me on the phone. He does not agree with how it is being utilized like this. It's just very odd. Like, it almost feels like it's designed to be there for like a settlement as opposed to going through like the entire process. Because it took Brad and Reed 2 seconds to get caught up to speed with what was going on and why, and say like, oh, this is a big mistake. This shouldn't be happening. But the viral DRM has already gone through all of it, and I'm now served these papers. So it feels like they just built the case.
Wouldn't you love to know that the people that you are paying are wasting the shitload of time to build a lawsuit case against something before even asking you real quick of whether or not you're okay with it?
Very quickly, and
what a
it's
great
just, it
use
feels
of your
very
employees' time.
weird to me, because I don't think, like, if this didn't get retracted, like if this went through the entire song and dance, the bells and whistles, I really don't think there's a world in the fucking multiverse that Doctor Strange would peer into where this would win. So it's just, the whole thing is just odd to me. I do think that there was probably paperwork signed between Reed Timmer, Brad Arnold, Viral DRM, about how they have like full autonomy to manage their rights in whatever way they deem appropriate. But I don't know if Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold were aware of things like this happening.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Based
shitstorm
on
between
how I was speaking
You're
with
not gonna
Brad
be
Arnold
happy
and what he
about
was
that.
talking about, it seems like he doesn't really like that. He doesn't know what's going on in regards to how his content is managed here and like this litigious nature. And like, it seems like the whole purpose is to stop like legitimate bad actors from stealing it and circumventing like the licensing fee and that kind of thing, which this was not doing here. And again, I have no idea if this went to a lot of people or just me. I don't know. Anyway, though, I'll stop blabbering here. Like I said, I did talk to Brad Arnold on the phone, and he was a very nice guy and very understanding of like how messy all of this.
Could you imagine waking up to the phone for the phone call, dude? Like, hello, what? We're suing who? The biggest YouTuber who likes to make videos about literally anything he can think up to as a topic for that day? Oh, fuck. Oh my god, dude. It's gotta be a nightmare.
Was here. So, and like I said in the last video, there's no ill will here from my end towards Reed Timmer or Brad Arnold for this. I appreciate it being handled so quickly here, and I've got my fingers crossed, really hoping that if others do have this, it can be actually looked at from all parties here to see, is it a mistake like it was in this case here.
Good
So
Lord.
hopefully all of this can be, you know, more buttoned up and better in the future, so it can actually be used to protect their content from people that are actually trying to steal it, rip them off, and that kind of thing. So wishing both Reed Timmer and Brad Arnold the best here. I know they both have YouTube channels and their own careers. Hopefully this kind of thing is just water under the bridge now,
He got
and
1.4 million
there'll be no more scary legalese paperwork going to people that don't deserve it. So anyway, that's really about it. See ya.
Okay, so now we know never ever pull up Brad and Reed's YouTube live streams by accident for 30 seconds, or else I'm going straight to prison and doing hard time. Good to know.